Hello everyone. So today I thought I'd make a video. So the last video I made was probably a few months ago now when I did the window regulator on that. So I was hoping to film last night, but I didn't because I really needed to get this up to this point. And what I mean by that is we are doing a clutch kit on a Suzuki Swift. This is my girlfriend's car, and she obviously does not know how to drive manual because the clutch is fucked. So, got a brand new clutch kit here, brand new machined flywheel, brand new friction disc and pressure plate, new spigot bearing, and I've just spent the last half an hour just cleaning up all the... If any of yous have ever pulled out a transmission before with a fucked clutch, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say the hair, like the fluff that is all in the bell housing, all over the back of the engine. So yeah, I've just spent the last half an hour cleaning that up. The new spigot bearing, the new throttle bearing's on. A lot better than the old one. Nice and smooth. That all works nicely. So yeah, what I'm up to now is we are going to throw the flywheel on and put Loctite on the bolts, and then we'll put the clutch plate in, the pressure plate, and yeah, go from there. I've just set you guys down there and we'll grab the flywheel. Need to go grab Loctite first. Now when you pull any bolt out that has Loctite on it from factory, or it had Loctite on it before, always put Loctite back on. We're going to use red Loctite. It's just going to work best. Bolts are never going to back out, and hopefully we never have to do this again on this car, so won't have to worry about it. Also, a good thing to do when you're doing a clutch kit is always look at the rear main seal, just see if it's leaking, because it's a lot easier to do it now than having to pull the transmission back out in the future and do it again. So while you're here, if it's leaking, you may as well do it now. So we've got all the bolts here. So we'll just put a little bit of Loctite on our first bolt. You don't have to go crazy with Loctite either. A little bit goes a long way. So it's on there. Make sure all the holes line up, because some flywheels will only go on one way. So you've got to have all the holes line up. Some do, some don't, but just keep that in mind when you're putting your flywheel back on, if you don't notice it when you're taking it off. Now if I was to be doing this properly, I would use a torque wrench, but we don't do that around here. So we're just going to use a rattle gun and just get them tight. I've tightened them all down by hand, but we'll just go once around with this gun and it should be good. When you do this to get any dirt or oils off, because you don't want that. It will affect how well your clutch actually grips. And it's like whenever you put a brake rotor on, there's always that thin coating of oil so it doesn't rust. It's the same thing. You just make sure it's all clean and ready to go. So then what you want to do is you want to have your friction disc and the clutch alignment tool in it, and then you're just gonna pop that in the back there with the clutch sitting there like that on the back of the flywheel. And then you grab your pressure plate. These are the pressure plate bolts that hold the pressure plate to the flywheel. You also want to clean this surface as well, exact same as the flywheel. It's a biting surface for the friction disc. So That's all clean now. We'll go under and put the pressure plate on. And we'll just make sure that your clutch disc is sitting center in there, and it is. And the pressure plate will hold itself there because it sits on 3 dowels, or however many dowels your flywheel has. And then you can just go around and start all the bolts. Sorry, that's really loud. It's kookaburras. Now, one thing you want to do when you tighten down your pressure plate is, sorry, as I was saying, I see a lot of car YouTubers do this. They just rip the clutch on and off without undoing it evenly, and that's a really good way to bend the clamping fins on the pressure plate. So yeah, make sure you go around it evenly and you'll avoid that mistake that I see a lot of people do. So the pressure plate's tightened down all the way, and once you have it like that, you want to remove this tool and slide it in again and make sure that it goes in without any resistance. That just means your clutch plate is lined up with your spigot bearing, and it will make the transmission going back in a whole lot easier. So that's perfect. So that's the whole clutch assembly on flywheel, friction disc and pressure plate. The next step is to put the transmission up in there. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to film this, but I'll give it my best shot. It might not look great, but yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So we'll see how this goes. No, you have to. Alright, so I'm going to have to put this on my lap and lift it up onto the back of the engine. So see how that goes. I got my brother here. He's going to hold this radiator hose out of the way, and that should make it a lot easier because nothing about this is easy. So let's give it a crack. Alright, I'm gonna have to lift it up. Fuck me, cunt. Okay, I can fucking do this. Do you want me to lift? Help. What do you think? I think this sucks. I can't really get a good grip on it. Then go. You gotta like jiggle it in. Okay.
Powder off, don't you?
No, use a fire blanket.
The carbon monoxide, whatever. Carbon dioxide.
So we've got the transmission bolted in. It's all sealed up to the engine now. As you see here, it's all in, it's all bolted. Now we're pretty much just I'm working on getting the mounts. So I got this mount bolted up, or put in place, and then there's a mount on the back there, so I'm going to try and get that one in now. So we're back, and I'm pretty sure I left off last night. My iPhone storage keeps maxing out, which is really annoying because, you know, I shoot very long videos trying to capture all of it. Anyway, so we got the back mount on back there, which was a bit of a struggle. Front mount on, so the engine and transmission are completely, yes, there's a bit of coolant there. I'll clean that up. The engine and transmission are completely supported. Nothing is holding it now. The next step is to get the axles back in, fully assemble the suspension. So, you know, things like putting the brake, like we'll start with putting the axles back in that are right there, left and right side. And then we'll put the axle nut on, and the tie rods and connect the shock absorber back up to the knuckle. Pretty much just get all the suspension back together. So that's what we're going to do now. So I've got all the suspension back together. All the drive shafts are in, shocks are connected, brakes are on. Everything's good there on both sides. So now I'm just doing all the stuff up top, like I'm putting the ECU back. That connects to the battery tray. So I'll bolt that down before I bolt the ECU to it before I bolt that down. And yeah, I'm just gonna do this, and then we'll put everything back together, and then put the slave cylinder, the slave cylinder on, and then bleed it up and see if it works. Hopefully it does, because I don't want to pull that back out again. Sorry, I actually just got really carried away and I forgot to film like anything. So we bled the clutch. Clutch works good. Filled it up with oil, put the battery on, stuff like that. And yeah, it's running now, and we're gonna see if it'll go into gear and engage gears and move. So I'll set you guys down and we can have a look at that. So as you can see, it's working. The clutch is obviously engaged in first gear and it's moving the wheels. Everything looks really good. All running well, all back together. Complete engine bay again, apart from the little snorkel these things have. But yeah, all running quite nicely. So this is where I'm gonna end the video. I was gonna record a clip of actually driving the car, but I forgot. So there's that, but it all works. It's all done, all back together. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. I'm pretty sure no one would have, because who would have wanted to watch this? I mainly made it more to, like, if anyone's looking or trying to find how to do it, they can look at this video and somewhat get an idea. But I'm in the middle of recording another video on the Falcon. It's just taking a really long time. Shout out to TI Performance, because it's becoming quite a big hold up on their end. I've ordered a forward facing intake plenum for the Falcon, and it said they had them in stock on their site. They in fact did not. It's been about 6 weeks now and still hasn't been shipped, so I'm not sure what the go is with that, but as soon as we get that for this car, we'll have it powder coated, and I'll keep filming the video on the install on that. It's gonna be pretty cool. The Falcon's been out of action for like a month and a bit now, probably maybe nearly 2 months. I really miss driving that car because it was really fun, and yeah, I miss it a lot. I miss having a turbo car, obviously. So when I get all that sorted out, you guys will see that video. But for now, this is the end of this video. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.